Hello, my name's Eleanor. Today we're going to be doing a short video on child-directed speech to revise for the Child Language Acquisition section of the A-Level English Language course. There are two key terms that we need to know for this. That's its expansion and recasting. Expansion is when the adult develops the utterance into a longer, more meaningful form. So here for this example we've got bot, which is a word that the child uses. It's a shortened form of the word bottle, and it's expanded by the parent into I want my bottle. So we can see it's a more grammatically correct structure, and with this the parent is trying to demonstrate to the child this is actually how it's considered more correct to say it. Just demonstrating. Then recasting is when the adult comments, extends, rephrases the utterance. So again we've got bot here, and that's recast into I want my bottle? Yes, here you are. So here we've got the extending and rephrasing, basically expansion again here, and then we've got the commenting, which sort of shows that this is like what the child should say. So this is a question, do excuse my writing, and then we've got the answer here. So it's modelling the turn-taking structure of a normal adult conversation. Key features of CDS, first of all with phonology. I've grouped them in phonology, lexis and grammar, which will come up in a minute, to make it clearer what sections they are in, because sometimes it's helpful. So with phonology there is slower, clearer pronunciation, more pauses, higher pitch and exaggerated intonation to emphasise certain key words and all that. And then lexis, there's simpler, restricted vocabulary with diminutive forms, and concrete lexis, which refers to objects in immediate surroundings to make it relevant to the child so they know what they're talking about. Because as I mentioned in the key theories video, in Piaget's cognitive development stages, the idea of object permanence, although it only develops in the first stage, it is important that children learn the language and words that are relevant to them, and they can see the concrete object in front of them. Then grammar, simpler constructions, frequent use of imperatives, lots of repetition, frequent questions, and use of personal names instead of pronouns. With the frequent questions, this is about trying to engage the child, that maybe they won't be able to speak many words, but it shows that the parent still cares about them being there, and trying to engage them and make them interested. The repetition allows them to learn the words because they're kept repeating, so the child would be like, oh right, so yeah, that's that word. And the use of personal names instead of pronouns is actually a feature of children's language in itself. So really, essentially, the CDS here is attempting to imitate the child's language in order to make it, again, relevant to them, something they're going to understand before they go on to something way more complex and confusing. It's all about keeping it simple and understandable to the child, because really you don't want to overwhelm them with loads of things. That being said, in some countries, like Samoa and parts of Papua New Guinea, they don't actually use CDS at all, but the children can still learn language in the same way. It doesn't really matter, but CDS is an important way to engage with your child and help them. The types of CDS, well, there's motherese and fatherese. It's a bit stereotypical, really. But it has been shown that some mothers are motherese and some fathers are fatherese, and it's mostly mothers do motherese and fathers do fatherese, but it's an important thing to look out for, whether it's being used or not. Motherese uses a lot more CDS features, whereas fatherese doesn't use them so much. I like to think of them as motherese teaching the words and making sure the child learns the language, whereas fatherese teaches the grammar and the structures, and demonstrates how adults speak, basically. A key theory to point out here, we always like to link back to the key theories. It's an important thing to do to remember in the exam. So we can link back to the social interaction theory with Brunner and Vygotsky. CDS is a type of scaffolding. It demonstrates how we can get from one to the other, demonstrating the language. And also mothers and fathers and carers are all more knowledgeable others, and they're all helping with the social routine and familiar environment to aid their child to learn the language. Well, that's it from me. All the credits you can see on the side, and I will see you with another video shortly. Bye!